two things before I get started on this Jade Empire walkthrough / commentary, part 3 of chapter 1. I didn't go over the weapon from Gujin's workshop because I don't think it's worth it, really. And secondly, I'm playing on an iPad. That's why the quality is so cool. Otherwise, I think that's it. Let's get started.
I had no idea Master Li could command that kind of power.
That's what I've been saying. Like, where was this energy in the final battle?
Master Li said I could explain the nature of spirits, but these were different.
Another thing that I already kind of regret saying about the Lotus Assassins not summoning spirits in the game further on. They do it with, like, demons, though, so which is worse?
Master Li said I was brought to him by a concerned ally who received me from yet another person. That person wanted me safe, but he said he couldn't ensure it himself.
A common theme you'll quickly pick up on early in this game is how important your destiny is and how much Master Li cares about your advancement and skill and whatever. Gao the Lesser complains about it. Here, Dawnstar doesn't really complain, but she lost out on having a dad. And he never even knew because he never cared to ask. I mean, he knew he could probably still have made contact with Hui, and she knew who Sagacious Zoo was. All he had to do was ask, and she probably would have told him. But no, that never happened, so he doesn't care. He does not care about these students.
I don't want to think about it too much. Manipulating Chi has not come as naturally to me as it has to you. The things I do are different. I can see spirit shapes and hear the odd whisper. Master Li was surprised, but he has not had time to look into it further.
That line of dialogue, I think every playthrough, I've always found that line kind of interesting. Like, what kind of training was she doing with Master Li? And, like, what was the connection between her spiritual gifts and, her chi ability? What was the roadblock there? Alas, we will never know. But I think it would have been interesting if they had tried to include that in the game, like if they had, or even just talking about it, just talking about what they were trying to do, etc. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the walkthrough. And here we're with Nijo. We saved his dad. His dad was like, yo, go check on my son. We did. We saved him, at least. So that's good. As these games tend to go, there's lots of opportunities to be a complete dirtbag or a nice person. And this one is kind of mid. It's just a misunderstanding. Showing that Dawnstar's ability is really not appreciated most of the time because they think she's calling up the dead, like some necromancer. But in reality, the dead are just restless, and this is one of those ways the game shows you that the dead are here. You don't see it at the moment, but you will. It's like a little taste, a hint at what is to come. Really grave. Grave, get it? This is dead people. All right, okay, let's move on. This is what I meant when I mentioned that this conversation in particular is kind of mid. You don't really have a lot of great options. Just walk away. You were right to console her. You should have charged for the service, right? And that's something that's interesting. Early in the game, there's a lot of more neutrally gray, dialogue options, but not so much later in the game. Later in the game, it's very black and white. And if you turn into this tunnel, you'll find some bandits loot, which is nice. I'm gonna need that. After that, there's not much else to do right now besides go beat up Gao the Lesser's men. And listen to this. This is funny.
Wait, which one do you mean? Surely not that arrogant Gao boy.
Gao? Of course not. No, he's the one in those striking robes with his hair shaved off. He's a handsome devil, that one.
I just found that kind of funny because usually I play as a female character, so I forgot about that, the whole handsome devil comment. Anyway, I recommend saving, dying sucks as usual. Take him out. I don't think there's anything else really around here. You already picked everything up, so now it's time to head back. I mentioned Smiling Mountain's got some training, so here I am buying the Heart of Gold. I'm gonna save my money for now, and then now you can go train with all those students you couldn't train with earlier for some reason. Whatever. And sure, we'll go help Kia Min later. Whatever. Let's get this over with first. So you go do. I recommend doing two, in order. We already did 1 earlier, so 2, 3, and then 4. I think what I'm showing right here, yeah, this is the battle with the foursome. And yeah, I'm using Heavenly Wave to kind of slow him down a bit, which helps. So, it's kind of difficult dealing with 4 people trying to attack you at once. So slowing at least 2 down gives you a chance to make some hits. That's the only advice I'd really give there. Otherwise, it's good practice. If you're struggling with your fighting when it comes to group fights, this is good practice for that. It's not just great practice, though. You also end up with this thing called the Lessons of the Forge, which is good. That's a good thing. All right. Next up, you can also do a practice bout with Lynn, who is the school gossip, and apparently also thinks you're cute. So she mentions later on, we all end up just staring at your back. That's not a bad view, though. I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
It would have been great to see Master Li deal with that sorcerer. We so rarely see our master's true abilities in action.
Same. Where was that energy when in our final battle? Why didn't you just punch me as hard as you punched that shit?
I can't even imagine Master Li saying, "You must strive to be like Lin in all things" to the others.
She's insecure, probably because Master Li just focuses on you all the time. But whatever, you tell her to follow her own path.
That's easy enough for you to say. You're already the best in the school. The rest of us just stare at your back. Of course, there could be worse views.
There it is! There it is! Of course, there could be worse views. Oh my gosh! Ugh. Okay, this game has some funny moments. Okay, I don't know. That made me laugh. I think that's funny. Anyway, it does work. She's like, you know what? You're right. Maybe I should focus on myself. You can talk to her some more if you want. All you're really gonna find out is that she doesn't really have plans for the future. She just wants to visit the Imperial City, maybe go study in the Scholar's Garden. Her backstory is a little interesting as a woman that when she kind of showed to be kind of wild, a little bit rough around the edges, her family sent her here to, I guess, learn to be a better person, to calm her willful spirit. I guess. But as she said, it never really did much to make her delicate. I don't know. I just find it kind of interesting that was their response. They're like, martial arts school. This is the answer. Anyway, I'm going to head out. See you.